addiction. I lost my dad and my son the same way.
No way.
That's what this book is about. The book connects my dad's death.
Yeah.
To this is gonna blow your mind. I try not to get emotional because I'm in therapy right now for my dad's death. I hadn't even got to my son yet.
In the Black community, addiction is criminalized.
Yes.
In the Caucasian community, I'm making up a word, is therapized. They send you to therapy and get it done. What would you say to families who are dealing with and encountering addiction? Hey family, it's your boy, Dr. Jamal Harris and Bryant. We are live on Let's Be Clear. And I want you to tell you my boy is in the building. This is the only member of Omega Psi-Phi that I absolutely love to pieces. I appreciate the one and only runaway preacher, Rickey Smiley.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. I was
always good to be with the other 1911.
That's right, the other side.
Yeah, the other side.
The very first time I met you was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
The last minute, Steve Harvey was supposed to come, and something happened with his family and said, can Rickey Smiley stand in for me?
Yeah. I remember what you had on, too.
Do you really?
You had on a pink suit coat. You had on something. It was something from Saks. He was cleaning in a new napkin. Now.
Yeah, no. And we became immediately fast friends from that moment forward. Yeah. And your whole set was about church.
Yeah.
I mean, the announcements, the choir, the devotions, the deacons, it was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, you have your church set, usually your Christians are your easiest audience for comedy. Yeah. You know, the secular audience, you have to really go out and prove yourself. But man, you walk up on a pulpit, man, I'm not even nervous. They're gonna laugh when you walk up there. No,
that's great. Yeah. I was reading through your book, and one of the things that came to me was the death of Robin Williams. Was American icon of comedy, and prematurely, for the millennials who are watching, prematurely ended his own life. What is the burden of people always wanting you to be funny?
For me, it's irritating off stage. Hey, say something funny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They people don't know the difference between a comedian and a clown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
On stage, it really don't bother me because it's your job.
Right.
Have to do radio every morning. Your job is to be funny on the air every morning. And it's like you train. It's like I see a lot of pastors preach their mama's funeral,
right?
You know,
And
it's like even though it's hard, but you train, you have the gift, and you know what you're gonna do. I saw Bishop Walker do it. You know, I was there with him, you know, at his mother's funeral. He preached or whatever. You know, my mind is like, how do you do that? But it's like when that's what you do, you just go ahead and execute it because you have to think about, well, that's what my mother would have wanted.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a good honor to her, a good honor to my son, because my son was also a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
My son was a headliner. You know? He was out doing comedy shows too. So
I told my mother, don't put me on the program.
Don't put you on the program?
No. I ain't doing nothing.
You ain't doing it?
No.
You gonna ride that limousine?
No, I'm not even telling her to put on your high beams, follow nothing.
Right.
I'm sitting there with Ray-Bans on.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. Just school.
Yeah. I told my sister the day I'm blessed of God that both of my parents are alive. My dad is 81, my mother's 76. I told my sister I only have one sibling. The day either of them die, you are the oldest.
Yeah.
You are in charge that day.
Absolutely.
Don't ask me for nothing.
Right.
I don't want to overlook the program. I don't want to pick no casket.
Right.
You are in charge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
And why do they read obituaries silently? We read it time we get it. It don't have to be in the program. That'll save time. We need to take that out.
And we don't even read it. We read the last sentence, special friend.
Yeah.
we want to see who is the special friend that gets listed.
And we never was able to pronounce the cemetery. They should just put cemetery. What is it? Interment?
Yes, interment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just got that last year, all these years.
No way.
Yeah, just last, like, what is that?
But now tell me, because I pastored a multi-generational church.
Yeah.
When I was in Baltimore, I pastored all young people. I got to Atlanta's the very first time I had to say to one of my members, yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
First time.
Yeah.
I need to know, you are almost.
Yeah, you better say that.
You are the dog whistler for old people.
I am.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
And a lot of them they don't know that I'm a comedian. They think I'm a pastor because I drive a 96 sedan DeVille.
No way.
Birmingham. And they be like, you sure look familiar. I said, New Bethel, Michigan.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Have you always been close and connected to old people?
Oh, absolutely. My grandparents were like my parents. So my great-grandparents were my grandparents. And my mom and dad was like my brother and sister. One time me and my dad got a whipping together. Together. And my grandma made us go in our room.
Separately.
Yeah.
No way.
Go to y'all room. Yeah. I've been around old people, man. My grandma was in a social and savings club. So you got to say, yes, ma'am, and thank you and please and good morning, good evening when you walk in the house. Manners and common sense and common courtesy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's big in the South. So I've been around old people just. I watch In the Heat of the Night, all my children, General Hospital, I can name all the characters.
Listen.
Adam Stewart, Erica Kane.
The most traumatic moment of my life was when Luke raped Laura. I'm still traumatized.
Yeah, Luke and Laura.
I think I stopped watching the stories after that.
Because she loved Scotty.
Then listen.
She loved Scotty, and then they went on a run.
We done lost half the crowd. They don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, they went on the run. And that's when James Ingram and Patty Austin came out, baby, come
That's
to
right.
me. Yeah, man, Luke and Laura, that was a big deal. You had to sit down when General Hospital came on.
No.
It was serious.
But
that's the best stories ever. Then you have to watch In the Heat of the Night. That's when you take a nap.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody was sweating In the Heat of the Night. Everybody was sweating.
When I was little, they used to say I looked like that guy who had no lighting.
Which one, Sergeant Tibbs?
Yes.
No, man. No, they call you Sergeant Tibbs.
They call me Sergeant Tibbs. Listen.
Ain't nobody told you that, man.
No. I hate In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
I can't watch it.
Oh, yeah, man.
When I told my dad I wanted to be a preacher.
Right.
I thought he's going to let me get up, read scripture.
Right.
Welcome the visitors, do a little sermon. Yeah, retired.
Okay. Right.
And my first assignment was go take communion to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I got acclimated to old people.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I just wanted to drop it off and run.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, sit down, talk to me for a minute.
Yeah.
So I end up watching the stories with them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a life-defining moment.
Oh, man, come on. You have to watch The Edge of Night.
Yeah. And it is really says something about our culture because, Ricky, when I went to Ghana last year, I took our church to Ghana and found out in Africa they have no nursing homes.
Really?
No. It's your responsibility to take care of the elders.
Right.
You know how many of our elders would be on Skid Row, Death Row Records?
Yeah.
Waiting on new Negroes to take care of them.
Right.
Because we don't have any real connectedness to what that means and how that represents the aging of our family. That's why the whole issue about Biden and Trump, when Biden was still in it, exposed how America feels about old people.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. There's no other culture that throws away their old people.
Yeah, I have so much respect and admiration for senior citizens. I wouldn't be where I am had it not been for them. I ran into one of my music teacher at a funeral this past Monday, and somebody told me that she was in there. I ran back into church and missed the whole going to the cemetery. I was supposed to be a pallbearer. I just have so much love.
Man,
and
don't
respect.
let my side of the casket droop because you done left. Stick to your assignment, man. Stick to your assignment.
I went back in there, man. I saw Miss Speed. Miss Speed was our choir teacher and piano teacher in elementary school. I was just so glad to see her. And now, she's up in age or whatever. I went back and found most of elementary school teachers.
Wow.
And was friends with them. They was coming over to the house. My 6th grade teacher and my principal, they used to paddle me. They was coming over to the house on the regular before they passed away. Probably like once a month, we'd do some chicken and dumplings, and she would drink her Cavassier and smoke her a cigarette. I would let her smoke, you know, or whatever, because she was like 80.
Yeah.
You know, she was real cool. So my love for senior citizens and old women and old men, older men, it's just real, because we wouldn't have what we have had it not been for them.
No, it's true. You inspired me a couple of weeks ago. You put a post up that pulled me off of the Brooklyn Bridge. My 3 youngest girls are now all in HBCUs.
Awesome.
Like my twins have split up. One is at Hampton, the other one's at Spelman.
Mm-hmm.
Then the oldest one is at FAMU. You did this walk showing all of your kids' degrees.
You saw that?
That thing almost took you the new Lou Rawls.
Man,
you have sponsored the whole United Negro College Fund.
And that's not even all of them.
Wow.
Those were kids that was raised in my house. Only 2 of those kids on the wall are biological.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been raising kids, man, since I was 15. Yeah, when I was 15 years old, it was kids in the apartment complex that didn't have nothing to eat. I started off making sandwiches and hot dogs for the kids. And then when I did get a little piece of car and a job, I was working at Showbiz Pizza, you know, which is now Chuck E. Cheese. I was loading them kids up, taking them kids to work. I had a little 6 to 9 shift. I would do 3 or 4 times a week. I was taking all the kids in the apartment complex to expose them to sun, you know, making a pizza, you know, didn't even have money to pay for the food. So I was sneaking, make them a pizza or whatever, and then slide it out there to them. One of my best friends, who's a frat brother, he was murdered. He was a high school basketball coach. 2 of his sons is on the wall. One graduated Miles College.
Yeah.
The other graduated Middle Tennessee State University. Both college athletes. And then, you know, I got both of my daughters when they were 2. One graduated Baylor. She's a speech pathologist. She lived in Denver, Colorado. And then one lives here, worked for Dr. Rashid Rickey at Rolling Out Magazine. Yeah. That's my oldest daughter. And my niece, Portia, graduated from Clark College. And Deltrick, your frat brother, called him Paco. Paco Beta Zeta, that's Alabama State.
Yeah.
Cane Master. You know, I put all of them through school. When I was hosting Comic View and out here doing these comedy clubs, I was putting all these young people through college, making sure that everybody had a degree on the wall.
Man, so that's
I take a lot of pride in that.
No, listen, I'm cheering for you. I'm giving you your flowers because nobody hears that side of the story.
Yeah.
And knows that you are really an exemplary black man.
I try.
No, thank you. You are doing it as a pastor and as a Christian, and hearing so much of your life around the church. I want to know about your conversations with God after your son passed.
Oh man, it was I can't even remember if I texted you or not. It was that was devastating. I was by myself in Dallas, Texas, in my apartment, preparing to go to work the next morning. I got that phone call, and I had nobody. I was by myself, and I just needed God to just get me from the apartment door to the elevator. That's how bad it was. If I can, I told God, if you can get me from the apartment door to the elevator, I can make it. Because that hall was spinning. That hall was spinning. The room was spinning. I was trying to prepare myself what to do. I had to get home to my family. I had to call my kids from Dallas to let them know what happened, where they wouldn't hear from anybody else. And then I had to drop that news to my mother. My mother was at the ER where my son was, and I'm in Dallas. And I had to call her and tell her.
Who's in the ER?
Who's in the ER, waiting to see him, that he passed. And I had that was about 9, and that flight was leaving at 10:15. I had to get to Love Field Airport. I got to the airport, and I was just praying the whole time, just God, give me strength. I walked in that airport and just saw people just moving along. I wanted to jump up in the air and land on my neck so I could die. It was the pain was unbearable.
Yeah.
I had to get a police officer to walk me to my gate because I was so confused. I didn't know 1 through 38. That's a straight one concourse at that airport. Got on the plane. I had to calm down. There was a man, an older man behind me, leaving a family reunion, and he wanted to show me pictures of his family. And I never told him what I was dealing with because I'm sitting there just nice and talking to him. He pretty much kept my mind occupied or whatever. And by the time he was getting ready to land, I probably had 200-300 text messages.
Wow.
And but Jonathan McReynolds' song was just in my head, and that's what kept me. May your bad days prove that God is good.
Yeah.
and if it was, that's the one song. The minute I got the news, I can hear that song in my head, clear as if it was on.
Yeah.
And it was like everything else got quiet, and that's all I could hear.
Yeah. I
heard it all the way down the hall. I heard it on the elevator. The only time it stopped is like when I got to the airport. Then, I go to Pastor Haynes' church when I'm in Dallas, Friendship West.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "Oh my God, let me take a picture." I said, I just kind of whispered, and I said, "Listen," I said, "I would love to." I was the last one to get on the plane because it was about to close the gate. I barely made it. I whispered to her what had happened. And she closed the door to get in the little tunnel that take you to the plane. And she grabbed both of my hands. And man, I don't know who that lady is to this day. I get emotional. I haven't seen her since. I hope I get to see her again to thank her. That lady went into a prayer that was so deep and it gave me so much strength.
Yeah.
And I got on the plane in the seat that I always want. The plane was sold out. In the seat that I always sit on Southwest, which is that very first seat in the aisle where I could just jump off.
Right.
It was available.
Wow.
I just jumped in the seat. Felt like the plane was about to crash that day. The turbulence was so bad. That was the first time I felt that kind of turbulence and wasn't scared because I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care. If anything would have happened that day, it would have been all right with me because it was that bad.
How do comedians cheer themselves up? If I'm going through, I don't want to hear no gospel music.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel that.
I'm irritated.
I feel that.
Luther Blackwell said, preachers are the last people to believe what they preach.
Mm.
They want it for other people, but it's hard to accept it for themselves.
Mm.
When people are trying to encourage you and trying to cheer you up, make you laugh, does that bother you? It's like, go on now. Are you able to receive it?
The comedy itself was good therapy for me. Because I had a comics are mean. It's like deeper than the Capitals, deeper than in whatever organization you're in. Comics are mean, but they know what to say to you,
right,
to make you laugh. And I got a text message from comedian Hope Flood, and it was like what she say? All this sympathy blank you getting ready to get from women.
That cheered you up immediately.
And she said, shaking my head, on the day my son died.
Oh my God.
Not my condolences
to
you.
Right.
I just started crying like, what? And I couldn't do nothing but start laughing because comics is just, we just different.
Yeah.
We rock like that. We will hit you up on your worst day and say something real rude because we know how you gonna take it.
Yeah.
We know you're gonna laugh because comics know each other. Yeah. I'll never forget, I was told when J. Anthony Brown, when his mom passed, George Wallace came to the funeral. Now, they've been doing your mama jokes for years. George Wallace goes up to the casket, view the body, and he walks over to J. Anthony Brown. So I just came to see, was that B really dead? See, and then J. Anthony Brown started laughing at the funeral. And that just changed the whole mood. He said he was all right after that.
Right.
And comedians are something terrible and special at the same time. It was the comics that kept me lifted up.
It is a recession-proof profession.
Yes.
Because in COVID, we want to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in a recession, we want to laugh.
Right.
Denzel Washington tells a story about when he was at the Boys Club of America, it was prophesied to him that he was going to preach to millions of people around the world. Right. He said it took him time to realize that his preaching would be his acting. Do you think comedy is your ministry?
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Bryant, one of the things that I realized is not about me, right? I remember when my grandfather died. My grandfather and I was real close. I left the cemetery, stopped by the repast, and went to Jackson, Mississippi, and did a show that night.
No way.
Number one, that's what my grandfather would have wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Number two, it ain't about me. Because guess what? Their grandfather died also.
Yeah.
They're dying. I walked on the stage that night and people fighting cancer and on dialysis and have on oxygen. Seeing Rickey Smiley and Martin Lawrence and D. Ray Davis and all the comedians that was on the show was probably the last thing that some of them was going to do before they leave this earth.
Yeah.
So you can't, I feel like for me, much is given, much is required. My son died on a Sunday. That Wednesday, I was back on the radio. They said, take as much time as you need. So you lay in the bed and think about all of that stuff, or you get up and go to work.
Yeah.
I got up and went to work because thought about all of the single mothers in Chicago whose teenagers been killed. They listen to the Rickey Smiley morning show every morning. Maybe I can be a blessing to somebody. Maybe I can minister to somebody else. And like you preached, I heard it in one of your sermons. You say it's all the test, right? But it don't feel like a test when you're going through it.
Yeah.
But you have to snap out of it and go back to that word or those poems.
Yeah.
Poems, perms. Invictus.
Yes.
See it through.
Yes.
Everything that you had to learn when you was pledging.
Yeah.
You have to use that stuff during times of trials and tribulations. You have to snap out of it and how is God going to use me in this process going through this right here? You get to grieve later, through therapy and you're going to have some days where you're going to sit in the house and just have to cry it out. But man, all of the people that's listening to the morning show who teenagers got killed. My son was 32.
Wow.
Now, there's a mother that listens to the Rickey Smiley morning show who's 15-year-old, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You understand that they've gotten killed. And you got to go out there, and they worried about you because they listen to your show every morning.
Yeah.
So you got to let them know that you're okay. And now we're all in this together and be asked to some kind of ministry for them to give them some hope. Because you don't want your fans worried about you or whatever, so.
Yeah, but at what point in your grieving process, while you feel a ministry to the masses, do you make self-care the priority?
Yeah, through having a morning show, I have a therapist on my morning show once a week. And you have to get into therapy because it's funny, we just have this stigma about self-care and getting the help that we need. If you break your ankle, you going to the doctor.
Right.
You mess up your knees, your arm, you going to the doctor. Why are we going to go to the doctor for our mind when we go through trauma?
Right.
God created therapists just like he created medical doctors for everything else. And we have to go and get the help that we need so you can figure out how to process. 'Cause Dr. Bryant, some people don't survive their loved ones. I have funeral directors tell me all the time they saw people go up there and view a body and go sit on the front row and have a massive heart attack and die then.
Wow.
Or die at the cemetery.
Right.
When their casket is going down.
Lord.
I'm talking about die right then.
Yeah.
I've had hundreds of pastors tell me that, that people don't live a long time after suffering a loss. So, if you got younger kids and family members and you still a leader in your family and important to your family, you have to go get the help that you need. It's tough, but you have to survive it. And therapy is one of them. Staying close to God is the other, and doing things that you like to do. You got to go out and make yourself laugh. You got to go work in your garden. You got to go skating. You got to go shoot some basketball. You got to go and do some things that you like to create some happiness for yourself.
Yeah. In the Black community, addiction is criminalized.
Yes.
In the Caucasian community, I'm making up a word, is therapized. Mm-hmm. They can send you to therapy and get it done. What would you say to families who are dealing with and encountering addiction and don't feel like they're making any headway? Because you're in this tough love to say, I ain't giving you no more money, and you can't come in this house, right? And I don't want you around the babies. What do you do? Yeah,
I had to set some boundaries for my son. The only thing you can do is just get them help, because you're not a specialist on drug addiction. The only thing someone could do is try to get your loved one help and put them in some insurance.
Yeah.
If they high risk. That's just the business. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I know people in the Christian community say you're putting words out there, but well, okay, you got insurance for your house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You live
and your car.
Right, and your car. And you on a highway, your car becomes a risk of getting hit. You live in Georgia, your house is a risk of getting affected by a tornado.
Right.
If you live in Florida, you're a risk of a hurricane.
Yeah.
California earthquake.
Yeah.
You have to take care of the business, because if your child is high risk or your uncle is high risk or whatever, you go to try to get him help so he can get better. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to prepare for the worst, because you know what's out there. Let's just be real. I know what's out there.
Yeah.
I had a nephew to pass away. I had a niece and a nephew to pass away. They all aged 32. My son, my niece, my nephew, they all passed away aged 32, fentanyl. So if you know what's out there, and stuff, you just have to start preparing yourself. I had set my kids down and told them probably like a year before this happened, and had a conversation at the table. Everybody flew in. I said, listen, we're going to have to prepare ourselves, because I saw it coming.
Wow.
You praying at the same time.
Yeah.
Doing everything you can as a dad, and you praying, but you know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to be real with my kids and prepare them.
No, that's
But
heavy.
nothing could have prepared us for when it actually happened.
Yeah.
That didn't make it
lighter or
easier. Yeah.
Dale Bronner said, we're born looking like our parents, and we die looking like our decisions. One of the critical things I want you to help with, whether or dealing with addiction or otherwise, the responsibility we feel as parents, drum roll, on grown kids. So you talk about kids, people thinking of a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, an 11-year-old. But how then do you free yourself to say, this was an adult that made that decision? Because you've got parents who are listening, who are watching, who have served themselves a life sentence of not being able to forgive themselves for the decisions adult children have made.
Yeah, I don't feel guilty about anything. And I had family members, because me and my son, I had to put some space between me and my son, because it was things that he's, said, during his addiction to me, where I was driving around Birmingham looking for him to kill him myself, because I was that mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a black dad. You just can't say certain stuff to me.
Right.
Like, I'm ready to fight you in the middle of the street. And I didn't have a full understanding that addiction caused that kind of behavior, because my niece and my nephew were totally different. They were still, yes, sir, no, sir, I understand, or whatever. Well, my son was just something, it just affected him differently. I thought he was just being a jerk. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to say anything that will, in his memory. He was a great kid.
No, I get it.
He was a great kid, but drugs and alcohol would come in and turn them into a completely different person. Yeah. And I had to create space, but I had to protect the rest of my kids.
Yeah.
I didn't throw him away because as where I created space, I was still trying to help him.
Yeah.
Rehab was $70,000, like on the table. Pull your credit card out right now.
Wow.
And it was $70,000. I did it twice.
Wow.
I did the best I could. I sent him to college. I fought for him. When he was at an age where he could decide what parent he want to stay with, I fought for him to come stay with me. He stayed with me, and I remember driving him off to Alabama State University, going in there myself, setting up his dorm room and hanging up. We listened to the Biggie and Tupac all the way down 65. And you look back at all of this stuff and say, well, what do I have to feel guilty about? I cook meals, I didn't even, and sometimes they would run, you were gone all the time. I'm like, listen, I'm no different from a mom or dad that's in the military.
Right.
I might be gone performing on the weekend, but I come back during the week, or if I'm gone for a week, you there with my mom and my dad,
right,
or whatever, you in the house or whatever. So we can't feel guilty for having to take care of you. Right. We have to work to take care of you. And some hours are during the time you're home, and some hours are during the time you're not home, or whatever. I did I wasn't a perfect parent, but I did the best I could.
That's all we
for my
expect.
Kids.
Yeah.
And when you go back to that video, the video shows it.
No, it's powerful.
When they get a certain age or whatever, you can do what you can, do the best you can for your child. They get a certain age, they have decisions that they have to make. My dad made a bad decision. I lost my dad and my son the same way.
No way.
That's what this book is about. The book connects my dad's death.
Yeah.
To this is gonna blow your mind. I try not to get emotional because I'm in therapy right now for my dad's death. I hadn't even got to my son yet.
How long ago did your father die?
My father died April 11, 1974.
Wow.
And I can tell you every single thing that everybody had on at that funeral on the first 3 rows and where I was sitting. I can tell you everything that happened that Friday night. I can tell you from Smith and Gaston Funeral Home to New St. James Baptist Church. And I remember sitting there watching my grandparents cry like that. And that tear me up. They dead and gone. But that tear me up to this day. I haven't even got to my son yet as far as the therapy and the things that I'm talking about in my therapy. I'm stuck on that. I didn't cry at my son, because my granddaughter was looking at me. And I don't want her to have the memory of her papa crying.
Yeah.
Like I had a memory of my grandparents crying.
Right.
So I sat there in that church while Leandria was up on stage singing God Is. And man, I took that like a G. And I had to do it for the rest of my family and the rest of my kids. I cried when everybody left the house.
Yeah.
I cried when my son went out to Alabama State. All right, Dad, you straight? I said, I'm good. All right, Dad. He kept coming back in. Dad, you sure you good? He was the last one to leave the house. I said, look, I'm straight. So I got up and I walked him out to the car, acting like I'm looking in his car. Hey, you need to put some air in the tires. I said, okay, I'm coming down there tomorrow. That's my little thing with him. I'm coming. Okay, I'll be in Montgomery tomorrow. We'll go to the little Jamaican spot downtown Montgomery. We'll have lunch or whatever. I never would let my son leave with me sitting in that chair with my legs crossed because I know what he's thinking. And my son feel bad.
Right.
Dad, you straight? I'm good. Last one to leave the house. All the grandkids gone, everybody gone, or whatever. So I don't want parents to feel bad about doing the best they can because being a parent, it does not come with a handbook.
Yeah.
Man, these adult kids or whatever, Kurt Franklin and I, we sat down and had several conversations about stuff, man. I just hate it. And sometimes the devil, I don't know if it's the devil mixed with bad decisions or whatever. Only thing you can do is pray and cover your kids. And you feel like it ain't working out. You got to protect the rest of your kids because,
No, that's heavy. I wanted to ask you, with all that you have given, you probably have the biggest heart of any person that I know that is living. I mean, you're going to give people your last. You're always there for people, adopting other people's children with no paperwork. You a human smuggler. You done took on people's children. taking on old people in the neighborhood, dropping off pies and cooking for people.
Cooking pinto beans, making pinto bean deliveries. I did that last week. I was delivering okra last week.
No way.
I had okra, tomatoes, I had some zucchini, and I got some old people that's friends with my grandparents. I'm bagging it up in Ziploc bags and walking on the porch, ringing the doorbell. Here comes some okra. Oh, I can put these in some butter beans. Thank you, baby. I sure appreciate it. You know, Miss Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, you done made her a national hero.
Oh, yeah. Miss Jane is awesome, man. You go over there and sit down. She always got some food right there in the projects, man.
No, that's great.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, though.
And so at the end of all, and 3 months ago, I would never ask you this question. 3 months later, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get old with nobody?
It depends. When Jesus walked her, when Jesus personally, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I'm just waiting on Jesus to come and walk up on him and say, Rick, I'm out, and then he goes back up.
But you open to the idea.
Absolutely.
You sure?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people watching this.
Yeah.
You're going on record now.
Yeah, listen. I have to be attracted to them because I'm not looking for a person with a good heart.
No.
Okay?
I got it.
I'll let you. I'll let you fix me up with somebody, but I would not let a woman fix me up with anybody. She got a good heart.
No. If I leave with that,
she looked like Roland Martin by the neck.
Listen, if you saw Roland sweating all week at the DNC, that ain't a good picture at all. No,
listen. Y'all can't fix me up with a chick that look like, and I always take a jab at Roland Martin because he calls my morning show all the time. He hate on me all the time. So that's like one of my enemies. You know, he always talking about Q's don't graduate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We go at it every day. So yeah, they be trying to fix me up with a chick that look like Roland Martin.
Yeah, let's.
And that ain't what I want.
That's not what we want for you. As your brother, that is not what I want for you.
I know when he see this video, I know, Roland, I know you're getting ready to text my phone.
Oh, yeah. No, he going to call you on the hotline.
I know he is.
Yeah, no, but I just need it. Now that I'm secured, I want everybody to come on out. Everybody come on out.
It's all about having peace. You know how most men be like, I want a woman that can cook. Like, look, I cook.
Right. I don't.
Like I throw down. Like
I do not. I pick up.
I'm trained by a chef. I went and picked tomatoes and made tomato sauce from scratch.
You talking Swahili to me, brother?
Yeah, I cook. Fold clothes, clean clothes. I keep a clean house. My closet is clean. I'm neat. I'm organized. You know what I'm saying? I'm not real picky. I just like peace and kindness mixed with beauty.
Listen, that's not a tall order.
She
God,
can't
you can
look like Roland Martin.
I got it. That's sweaty.
You know what I'm saying?
At the DNC.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking you're going to find somebody during the president's inauguration. All the AKs will be in D.C. All the AKs are going to be in D.C. They're going to be there.
My daughter and her mom's AKA.
Yeah, well, they're
as long as they're not out of that chapter.
And knowing you, it may be that line. But tell me your thoughts on Kamala becoming president.
Listen, the minute Joe Biden endorsed, and I got dragged on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw all of the blogs.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got mad at me because I'm supporting. Not support her is a vote for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Now, everybody got these blogs about Kamala Harris record. Where's the energy for Donald Trump's record?
Listen.
In the racist things that he said in what is Project 2025?
That's correct.
Where are the videos about that? Yes. Everybody video dogging me off for supporting Kamala Harris, like you drinking the Kool-Aid and all these. Listen, man, I cannot believe that we are actually sitting here having this conversation, because after Barack Obama, I didn't think I would see nothing else like that again, not in my lifetime.
It's here.
It's here.
I was in the arena in Chicago. I was amazed to see white people crying over a black woman.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never see the day.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, all of you all who are listening to this, a bipartisan show, But if y'all don't get on this Kamala train, you get ready to miss it. This is a historic, significant moment for what America needs right now.
Listen, I said this on the radio, on my radio show. She will be sworn in by a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Wow.
On Martin Luther King's birthday, who's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Crazy.
If that don't give you chills, and I'm not a part of neither one of those organizations.
Me neither. Now I got to figure out the campus got to throw rice or something.
Something.
Wow.
When I tell you, and I, not just being a Democrat, but on a personal level, she called me when my son passed.
No way.
Joe Biden called me, President Biden called me and wrote me a letter.
Wow.
Naming my son and my grandkids.
Wow.
She picked up the phone and was like, bro, are you okay? Like the AKAs
that's powerful.
do.
No, that's great.
What's up, bro? You good?
No,
you
that's
need
great.
Anything from? Yeah. It's personal for me. I don't care what nobody say or think. And I know there's a lot of men out here have this issue with that been just done bad by a black judge, that a female judge, or I've been done bad by guarding that lighten or a judge on the bench. I'm scared to go to court and a woman is on the bench for anything, even as a plaintiff.
You're right.
I know it's not going to be fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Kamala Harris was not that judge or not that guardian ad litem in your court case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how to separate the two. I think that she is good for the country. She's
Absolutely.
bringing joy and love, and I think people are going to come out and vote because when Hillary didn't win, Detroit didn't show up, Philadelphia didn't show up, Milwaukee didn't show up, Atlanta didn't show up, right?
Yeah.
He won all of those he picked all those swing states, if I'm not mistaken, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, or whatever. Black folks finna come out and vote. The D is coming. You know what I'm saying?
They're coming right now. If you all are listening,
absolutely,
Ricky, you got to drum this in on the radio. There are 10 million, hear this, eligible, unregistered black people in swing states.
Yeah.
Not in America, in the swing states.
Yeah.
It's 10 million eligible, unregistered black people. And this is crisis.
1.5 million Democrats did not vote in the state of Florida.
Woo.
Florida's not as red as you think it is.
Right.
Barack Obama won Florida twice.
Wow.
President Obama called me. I was in Florida. He called me and said, Ricky, I need your help. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm not worried about Florida. He said, we have the votes. He said, Ricky, it's about turnout. And I got on the radio and went on a tangent all the way up that was when he was running against Mitt Romney.
Right.
And he won Florida. And they said that I had people so ginned up to vote. When they called the election, it was people refusing to get out of line. So now we're going to make sure. We watching the news. We see that Barack Obama has been reelected. We're not getting out of line. I'm still voting. And they stood there in line.
That's what we need.
Absolutely.
And even more so for black men.
Yes.
Black men is the danger zone.
Right.
Of those who are really disconnected. I tell people everywhere, if black men had gone out to vote, Stacey Abrams would be the governor of Georgia.
Right.
But they didn't participate.
I just don't understand. And I really wish I could vote in Georgia because my vote would be more valuable because I live in Alabama. That's a red state.
Oh yeah. That's Burgundy.
And if you want to say your vote don't count, it won't count in Alabama. But I'm voting in Florida because I live in Florida. Part-time. So I'm going to vote there or whatever because, I think Florida is purple. Yeah. And Florida could possibly flip.
Well, you going to help it to be so.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's an article I'm going to send you that came out today in the London Times entitled Why British Don't Like Trump. Mm. And the article says, because he does not have a sense of humor, he is just mean.
He is.
That nothing that he says is funny. And they said something, Ricky, that messed me up. His absence of humor reflects his absence of having a soul. Mm. I said, man, I got to give Ricky this.
Yeah.
Is that people who don't have humor don't have a soul.
Absolutely.
And they said, think about it. In all of the times that you saw Trump while he's in presidency, you've never seen him laugh.
Right.
Only mean. And he takes joy in being mean.
You know, it's sad that we have to sit here and have this conversation, considering the fact people like Fannie Lou Hamer, Rosa Parks, Medgar Evers, people went out here and made ultimate sacrifices and died just when we could exercise the right to vote.
Wow.
And you sit out here and get on the internet and get misinformed and then make blogs and make videos and dog out people that's supporting Kamala Harris or Barack Obama or whatever. And people have to also understand that when Barack Obama was president, he's not the president of just black people. He's the president of the United States because he have to kind of govern a certain kind of way to do for all, not just us. Well, what has he done for us? Well, here's the other issue. We don't vote during the midterm election.
That part.
So how do you expect Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton to do their job when they don't have the Congress? They don't have the Senate, right? And if everybody would have voted for Hillary Clinton, we would not be out here trying to make sure that we have voting rights because he appointed 3 United States Supreme Court justices. And a lot of people that's talking this stuff, they don't know how government works. And I know I'm correct about everything that I just said. We'll go out and vote during the presidential election, but when the midterm election comes, we lose the House, we lose the Senate.
That's right.
Barack Obama picked, what's the gentleman name that's over the United States Justice Department? He would have had 3 picks. That was supposed to be Barack Obama's pick. And the Senate blocked it. They did not let him pick the last United States Supreme Court justice because they said election was coming up. So, you know, we lose when we don't go out and vote, especially during midterm elections and local elections. County commissioner, city council,
school board,
all of it.
Yeah.
You have to exercise the right to vote, and it's not just presidential election. You look at a president can't do nothing if you don't have the Senate and the Congress. A pastor can't do nothing if you don't have the deacon board and the trustees.
You got to have the deacons. I'm New Baptist. I just figured that out. The evangelicals figured out in order to change America, Rickey, they were grooming people to run school board. This is the first time since 1968 there are more white people on the Atlanta school board than black people. The majority of the Atlanta school board is white women, which is why they keep firing these black superintendents. And so you got to not just vote at the top of the ticket, vote all the way down. Vote for the dog catcher. Vote for everybody. But we got to be informed on what it is. I want you to inform. There's data that says that most black people post-high school don't read a nonfiction book from cover to cover. Post-high school.
Right.
Why do they need to read this book?
Oh, this book?
This one.
This
one right here.
This book right here.
This one right here.
Is gonna help you with grief. It's a great story.
Yeah.
I tied my son and my dad, and there's so many details in it, but it's scripture based. It's gonna bless your life. And if you lost a mother, or if you lost a father, or if you lost a kid, this book is a great tool. It has a lot of quotes in there from other authors and different people that have said some powerful things. And it's just a great tool. And I'm also coming out with a workbook.
Oh, wow.
Or whatever. So like after you, like a diary.
Yeah.
Or whatever, probably with the same picture on there. But that book is going to bless your life. And I also have it audio.
No, it's good.
Audio version of it. That took about 4 days to sit in the studio
and just read
and just read through it with my raspy voice, mispronouncing words, having to start over. I wish I could preach like you, man.
Listen, brother.
You and T.I. be breaking down some big words.
Listen, don't put me in the same group. Man, he in the category all by himself.
Oh my God, y'all break down some big words. But I want to say congratulations to
Thank you,
your wife, and congratulations on everything, your success at New Birth. I sit there and watch your sermon, the things that you do for people on stage and how you bless people. You think so. That's why we're friends.
No, I used
that's why we really good
Rickey,
friends.
I used to think that. Let me tell you when I stopped thinking that.
Yeah.
You want to know when I stopped thinking that?
When?
When I saw pictures of you having E. Dewey Smith on the boat. I ain't been on no boat.
Man,
I say, how E. Dewey get on the boat? I'm not on the boat.
I just had Pastor Jenkins on. I've been telling you for years. I said, hey, man, come down to Fort Lauderdale. You got a frat brother that got a big church down there.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he been on the boat.
I don't think Dewey can even swim.
Did he? We didn't
No,
swim.
Dewey can't swim. No. You got him on the boat walking around on a life preserver jacket.
I had your frat brother, Dr. Davison. That's my pastor.
Oh, that's my guy.
We always on the boat. Come, I would be more than happy.
I was fine. Davison is your pastor.
Yeah,
but Dewey can't get on the boat.
I'm joining Newburgh tomorrow.
Yeah, listen, we're gonna receive.
So I had 2 churches in Atlanta.
What's the other one?
It was
choose ye this day.
I remember.
No,
it was Greatest Travelers Rest when I joined.
Listen, yes, yeah, no.
Now
listen.
it's House of Hope.
No. You don't have no House of Hope in Alabama. No, come on over.
So look, I'm gonna join. I'm gonna get up there. As long as y'all put the chairs in the front,
I will put a chair there.
Put a chair out there. I'm gonna come up there and join. I need an old lady to come and hug me.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
And when they hug you and start rocking you and start singing "Come to Jesus,"
yes,
sir. I need to cry. That's a real join the church.
That's fine. Then I'm giving you a white envelope. I'm gonna find your number tonight. What is your envelope number? 147.
Right.
I gotta ask you this. I'm gone.
All right.
What's your favorite hymn?
Man, do you know, I was on Facebook the other day, and I understand all of the churches singing the new song.
Let me say this to you.
If I could just
let me say this to you, brother. I ain't never cried on them new songs. Yeah, I ain't never cried on no new song. I need a hymn to take me in.
I need to hear I got 3 that set me off.
Okay, let's go.
And if you could just get your musician, just give me one of them.
Oh, we gonna do it tomorrow.
Our older blood.
That gives me strength from day to day. It'll never lose its power. It reaches.
Listen.
I'm talking about to the highest mountain. It flows, Ricky, to the lowest valley. Give me number 2. Give me number 2.
What a friend we have in Jesus.
All my sins and griefs to bear.
Come on now.
Come on now.
I listened to that on the way over here to come.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. That Aretha Franklin, what a friend
yeah.
we have in Jesus wipes me out. I went to Mount Zion in Nashville, Bishop Walker.
Yeah.
And man, they was singing that, they was doing communion, I could not stop that song. I don't know what it does. It tears me up. If you want to get me crying, sing that one or sing What a Friend We Have in Jesus. And what's the other hymn? Come on, help me out. Jesus, keep me near the cross.
There's a precious fountain, free to all. Ricky, I'm a hymnologist. I'm telling you,
listen,
healing stream.
I played for the Sunday school, so I know how to play all of those songs.
Listen,
I was an organist for years.
I've said this behind your back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it in your face. If you could sing, you would be able to kill Jamie Foxx.
You know what?
If you could sing,
Jamie
Foxx couldn't get in the ring with you.
See,
that's the only thing you miss.
I can't sing. I can sing background. I can harmonize.
I need
but
you
I can't solo. I can't.
If you could do a solo, Jamie would be out of work.
Yeah. I wish I could.
You agree with that? Do you agree with that?
I don't think I'm as funny.
No, come on now.
Jamie's a much better actor than I am. I'm lazy. Jamie's
no. Man,
I can't mess.
You a great actor.
If I can mess with Fox.
We just got to get you out of that Santa uniform. But other than that, you ready to go. You ready to go.
I don't know if I can mess with Fox.
If we had to do a post-millennial, and we real Baptist now because this is our third time closing the show.
Yeah.
If we had to do a post-millennial, I got 2 more things I got to ask you.
Yeah.
If we do a post-millennial 2024 Kings of Comedy, who are the 4?
2024. Man, that Carlos, the younger guys, Carlos Miller and DC Young Fly.
Yeah.
And let's we're gonna throw in a woman.
Yeah, sure.
It's a Delta that lives in Jackson, Mississippi, named Rita Brent.
I haven't heard her.
She is hilarious.
I'm going to find
parody
her.
songs. And she does Christian comedy, and she's a church drummer, and she plays the keys.
Really?
The most undercover hidden talent in the South is comedian Rita Brent. And I'm not
going
lying.
to find her.
Make sure you find Rita Brent. She's dope. She's on my morning show. That's how good she is. I'm
going to find her.
Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly.
Rita Brent, you owe me one
Rita
more.
Brent. Let me see, two more comics. I have this obsession with Tommy Davidson.
Yes.
Tommy Davidson brings tears. He did a comedy club. There was a little dude out there in the audience with a box fade, and he kept referring to him, my man with the Larry Holmes haircut. And he kept going back to him and saying, ain't that right, my man with the Larry Holmes haircut? You know, Larry Holmes had that little fade.
Oh, yeah.
It went in, and it was a little... That's probably the hardest I ever laughed in a comedy club. Rock T from my morning show.
Yeah.
We knocked over a table trying to run out of there because he kept referring to that dude with the Larry Holmes haircut. You know who's funny?
Who?
Lavelle Crawford.
He is.
We did Constitution Hall.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not going last. I'm not going behind you.
No, he's great.
Ain't no way in the hell.
No, he's great.
Lavelle Crawford, and he don't, his sleeves be too long. He wears coats right off the rack.
Oh, yeah.
He don't get nobody to hit. I know he gonna call me and cuss me out. You know, Lavelle Crawford will have you in tears. I will not go on stage after him.
Really?
No. Ain't it certain? No, man.
Yeah,
no.
certain I don't want to get
certain preachers like you. Like,
absolutely.
Look, let me just read the New Testament.
Yes.
I'm not finna follow him.
No, I got it. I got one last question.
Come on.
I think I got one last. Tell me in your mind the difference between comedians and this new wave of comedic content creators.
Comedians are just performers. We go on stage and we get the jokes.
Because there's a lot of comedic content creators who cannot go on that stage.
Now, some of them have figured out how to perform. You got my boy, one of my mentees, Desi Banks.
Oh, he killing.
Oh, my God. But he started
and he out of the House of Hope.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know, I was the first one to put him on stage. Brought him up, had him come over to the Stardome, put him on stage. And I think that was his first time going on stage. And now he's a regular performer. He's selling out everywhere. Just hilarious.
Yep, Baltimore.
Be More.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Be More. Figured out how to go from that and take it to the stage. Be Simone.
Yep.
So it's a few that figured out how to, take that creating comedy with your phone and taking it on stage and doing live shows and actually selling tickets. So I love all the new age comics. I like coaching them. I like doing shows with them and watching and seeing them make mistakes. And I said, come here, if you do that like that, they be like, oh. I remember one time I did a big show. We was on tour with Martin.
Yeah. And
B. Simone had something going on so great and she cut it off to go into a joke. And I was mad. I said, I'm an OG.
Right.
That's what they call me. That's what DC Young Fly called me OG. I said, come. I said, sit down. I said, why did you do that? B. Simone. I said, hey, you had them. You had them right here. You got to capture that moment. And blah, 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 blah. Went on and on and on. So the next night we went to Houston. I don't know. I think we were in Dallas. And so the next night we were performing in Houston. And I stood on the side of the stage and I watched. She went right on stage and totally executed it.
Wow.
She killed it. You would have thought, and I was backstage, everybody was looking like, why are you going crazy over this? You going crazy because that's what I coached.
No, that's great.
I gave her that.
That's
and I
great.
like giving other comic stuff, man, because I see a lot of greatness or whatever. I wish I could get paid for just coaching comedians.
You can charge them.
Charge them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I read this meme on Instagram. Last year I did favors. This year I'm doing business.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to be a consultant.
I would love to consult comedians.
Yeah, rappers got ghostwriters.
Yeah. I got writers.
Yeah.
Rita Brent, one of my writers.
Well, there we are.
Your frat brother, LeVar. That's another one that's low-key would tear a room up. He's a pharmacist, like in real life.
Wow.
But one of the best comedians in Atlanta. He's been out here about 20-something years. LeVar Walker.
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't know he was a capper.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I got to track him down.
Oh, yeah.
I got to give you a special award. Yeah. Come on. You've been practicing. You've been practicing. I see it.
When the last time you hit it, though?
Listen, it's coming. Homecoming's in 3 weeks, brother.
You
meet me on the
still got the
cane? My cane is in my trunk. Me?
Still?
Yes.
Okay, when we leave it, we're going to make a video. We're going to go outside and see if you still got it.
We ain't doing no video till you come to
homecoming.
No. Huh? Come to my homecoming.
at Morehouse.
Yes.
That's one of the best homecomings I ever attended.
Yeah,
I went one time. I think I saw
I'm going to drop. Yeah, you saw me.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the cane now.
You going to drop it?
Well, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. I'm going to drop it like it's hot, brother.
But they don't use the cane no more. Y'all just doing this lotion, like rubbing lotion. Y'all.
Jergens. Coconut almond. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Now, you got to tell me this. I promise y'all, this is my last time, then we leave.
I'm enjoying. I have all day. I have nothing to do.
I got the stuff to do.
We got it. What are we going to eat? What are we going to eat today?
I'm fasting. I got church.
Who have oxtails?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
That's outside of my scope. We're going to Chris find where oxtails is.
Okay.
Tell me how you've gotten away with no blowback of using a boy with special needs in your comedy show.
Talking about Chris?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. People feel like I'm really giving him a great opportunity.
I'm saying it's because of your heart. Anybody else?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, man,
what you do is you don't make fun of him. You just
I
put him
got
on
it
stage.
just by putting him up there.
I'm laughing at what he does. I'm laughing at him.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's a special grace on you.
Chris.
It's a special grace on you.
Listen, the special ed kids in high school, back when they had them separated from
Jim.
You need to stop.
I haven't said nothing.
You need to stop.
I haven't said nothing.
So look, my teacher, I had some special need uncles.
Yes.
Like my mama had some older cousins that lived with my grandmama.
Of course.
I know how to deal with people like that.
Yes.
Every city I go to, all the winos, all the special need, they come backstage. I let them backstage. I let the winos have, I put certain stuff on the rider. Like when I go to Augusta, I got certain people that come, and I'm just friends with the people that they would consider the least of these.
Right.
I love people. I grew up in the project, so I can relate.
I got it.
Right? So when I was in high school, they would have, when the special needs kids when they would get out of hand, they would come get me out of class because I was the only one that knew how to talk to them. Hey. When
listen,
they see
this
me,
is it. I feel no.
When they
let's
see
stop
me,
here.
When they see
I
me,
want to
they
stop
would calm
here.
down.
I listen.
They would calm down, and sometimes like
this is
they would get out of
the show. Thank y'all.
They would get out of school at
no.
They would have lunch at 9:30.
No, listen, man.
They had lunch at 9:30.
I want to thank y'all
because they would get out like 10:30 or 11. So 9:30, the bell ring. They having lunch, and they was running down the hall. Because I had history on second period. They getting ready to get out of school. One day at Woodlawn, somebody mama was waiting. She out there blowing. We taking a test. She blowing. So they got out earlier. Okay. You know what? This interview is.
Thank you for watching.
This was supposed to be about grief. And then
Sideshow is out now. Right. Wherever you buy books, wherever you download books. Thank you so very much. I want you to please get a copy, and you can get.
You can't even keep a straight face.
You can get an Audible. You can hear the book. You can hear the book in Rickey Smiley's clear voice.
It's too late.
You
ruined the whole
because
interview.
You want to hear his voice for hours. And so ask that you'll please download either this book or the audio version of Sideshow.
I could have did
Living with Loss and Moving Forward
Thank you,
with
Dr.
Faith.
Bryant. That's enough. That's enough.
With Rickey Smiley.
After you just sat here and we done went through what we just went through.
Thank you.
You're trying your best not to laugh.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day, sir.
We'll see you all. God bless you.
Have a nice day, sir.
See you later.